the pressure. And then what's going to happen?
No, Max Duggan, welcome to New York.
No, I hope not.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And the committee's going to choke on a fucking. They're going to be stupid, and they're going to put.
If TCU does win, they have to go. I mean,
Hunter, they're guaranteed in if they win. Everybody knows that. But the whole discussion is what are they in if they lose? To me, they're not. because they've done this before, Hunter. When 1 year in 2015, TCU was the number 4 seed, right?
Yeah.
They won the last weekend of the season and still didn't get in the playoff. I dropped 2 spots after winning, and Bama got in.
No, we should.
I'm telling you, and I'll tell you guys on the podcast. If TCU loses, Alabama's gonna get in the playoff. I would be willing to bet all of you money on it. I would be willing to bet $20 that they would get in. Because they're the brand, all they care about is brand and money. They would rather much see Georgia play Alabama than Georgia play I forget, TCU's 3. They would much rather see like a Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, and Michigan matchup. Would they not? And that brings more money.
I guess if they just like seeing the same shit, I guess.
Hunter, they don't care about the fans. All they care about is making money. That's all they care about.
That's all anything's about.
Catch that.
If you're a true college football fan, you want. My dad told me what he wants, and I kind of agree with him. I want all fucking chaos to break loose. I want LSU to beat Georgia. I want Purdue to beat Michigan. I want K-State to win tomorrow, obviously. And I want to see what do you do with the playoff if all the top 4 teams lost this weekend? What the fuck do you do now?
It's easy. Georgia would still go in. No, I'm being serious. Listen for a second, because you said what's the answer, and I'm going to give you the answer. Georgia will go back in as a number 4. Number 3 would probably be Ohio State. Number 2 would be Bama, and your number 1 team would possibly be fucking Tennessee.
No, it wouldn't. Tiger, it's not. You think it's easy. That's not easy. That is actually extremely difficult. Because you want to know what it'd be, Tiger? It'd be the same playoff I said it was gonna be, but it would just be the fucking teams in different rankings. What it would be Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Bama. But what would happen is Bama, or my bad. So Georgia would go to like 3 probably. Michigan would drop to 4. Ohio State and Bama would go to 1 and 2. That's exactly how that would go.
Yep, that's your 4.
Yep, that's exactly how it would go. Because. That absolutely. If that ensued, honestly, and I believe there's a chance if that Michigan was to lose tomorrow, they might not get in because they lost to a 4-loss team.
Yeah.
There is a good chance they might not get in if they do lose because that's a bad loss to a supposed 12-0 team who's number 2 in the country who just beat the piss out of Ohio State on the road. But I believe they would get in still, but you would never know with the committee and how stupid they are.
All right, are you ready to go?
Yep.
So I don't want to put that on, but I'll get it going here in a second.
Listen to this. The Lakers are 7-2 in their last 9. 80 in that stretch is averaging 32, 15, 61% from the field, and 85% from the line.
That's crazy. He might make a run for MVP.
Yeah, Shai is too.
I know.
Yeah, but we're on a losing streak right now.
And you know what? And I agree with Chuck. If he keeps playing like this and he is not an all-star starter, it's a fucking joke, and the public vote and he's taken out of the NBA all-star vote.
I hate the public vote.
It's a joke. That dude is playing like an MVP right now on a team that's basically full of kids, basically. Not kids, but young men.
Yeah.
I miss how the NBA used to do it, just East versus West. I don't like this Team LeBron and Team Giannis bullshit.
Go for it. It's the fucking Super Bowl. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm going to kick the shit for.
Yeah, right. Ow, shit, that fucking hurts. Fuck.
They're playing Madden, Colby.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, World Cup.
Yeah, the Bulls are 9-13 right now.
Yeah, well,
Jesus.
they didn't lose any people. I wonder why they're sucking. Maybe Lonzo's actually a good
Man,
player.
Billy Donovan sucks as a coach. I ain't gonna lie, he kind of does suck.
Well,
Why'd they do good last year?
Because they were healthier, and well, not healthy. They are a lot healthier than they were this year. Plus, they're not really healthy. You know what, Golden State? And there's your problem, dude. You're 12-11, and you're 10-1 at home. So you fucking literally have all your losses are on the road. It's basically saying you can't win on the road. And you got to figure that shit out, or you ain't gonna be successful.
I think the Lakers are gonna finish like top 5.
Well, Hunter, they keep playing like this. They might get the 1. I'm just being honest, because they're not. I mean, if you look at it, dude, from where they're at now to the 1 seed in the West is like a 4-game difference at the moment.
Yeah.
what are you
It's like-
kidding me?
Do I think like because if you look at the full standings right now, from literally from the Suns to the Lakers, it's a 5.5 game difference from the 1 seed to the fucking where the Lakers are at. You know what I'm saying? Like. And the Lakers, this is an important road stretch for the Lakers, dude, because they can win these coming games. They have a very winnable game. That'd be tomorrow. That's very winnable. They play the Wizards, Hunter.
Yeah.
That's winnable. This is their next 5 games, Hunter, after tonight. The Washington, Cleveland, Toronto, Philly, and Detroit. Those are all winnable because Philly doesn't have Harden and they're not playing that great right now. Toronto's Cleveland's probably the best one out of any of those.
Yeah.
Which LeBron's always been good against Cleveland since he left Cleveland. So I expect the Lakers maybe 1 loss in there at most. To probably
Yeah, they'll
Cleveland
probably
or
just lose
something.
like.
Motherfucker, god damn it.
So after that, they'd be 10-12, 11, 10-13, 11-13, 12-13. They'd be 500 after their road trip. If they did that. Then they'd come home and play Boston, which you know what, dude, they just beat a really good Bucks team, so that's obviously winnable. They could beat Denver, Washington, Phoenix. They have so many winnable games. All these are winnable because I mean anybody in the NBA can beat anybody. Besides
yeah.
maybe.
All right,
Yeah.
Alex,
Toronto beat the Suns
What
today.
player?
we're starting.
Oh, okay.
All right. So what's going on today, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. It's been a while since we have done one on Friday. We are trying to get back in rhythm like we supposed to. Again, my name is Tiger24. We have shockingly, we actually have everybody fucking here this time, and we don't have a alcoholic motherfucker out the window, Hunter. I like to fuck with him about that one. And then we don't have Kobe that's either having internet problems, but hey, not all of us can have the greatest internet in the world, Alex. But hey, that's how it is. But at the same time, guys, so we're gonna be talking about a lot of things today. We're gonna be talking about Utah. Oh my God, Utah fucking spanks the shit out of USC. How the fuck did that happen? I'm gonna let Alex get in there in just a moment. We are gonna talk about these other games, the Akron, Buffalo game, and also the North Texas and UTEP. We're gonna get on with that. And we're also gonna talk about the other good games here in just a little bit. But I gotta go AFK and get the lighting set up. So I'm going to give the floor to my boy, Alex. Alex, start us off with the why the fuck Utah looks good today, my boy.
Alrighty, so Utah, I wouldn't call it upset to me, but if they want to call it that, sure. Beat USC 47-27, or 24, sorry. They realized it was a tie game at half, and then Jesus, I can't talk. Utah outscored them 30-7 in the second half. Absolutely dominated the game in the second half. Caleb Williams got hurt, unfortunately. I mean, unless you're like a Caleb Williams hater, I don't know. I mean, maybe you are, maybe you aren't. Got hurt. He hurt his hamstring. He hurt his hand. He was never the same. He couldn't really move. Like, his legs are very critical to him. Couldn't move, but Utah dominated the game in the second half on both sides of the ball, really. But yeah, that basically, realistically, probably ends USC's chances at the playoff more than likely, unless the committee's just flat stupid. But I mean, I guess they have before.
Yeah.
I don't know. but Utah will get to the Rose Bowl. Congrats to them. USC's going to go all the way down to probably the Alamo Bowl against Texas. And then Utah will play the winner. I believe they'll either play Purdue or Penn State. If Purdue could beat Michigan somehow, they'd play Purdue. And then, yeah. So Utah won 47-24. Yeah, Colby, what do you think of Utah's big win over USC, who everybody honestly thought USC was going to probably beat Utah, but they obviously got their butts kicked in the second half of this game. What do you think about that, man?
It was a very good game in the first half, but I think in the
While Kobe's trying to get his stuff working and everything along the lines, I'm going to step in real quick for Kobe while he's getting his stuff working. Real quickly, Utah USC. Utah, I saw a little bit of this before I got out of work. Utah looks good, Alex. Like, I'm shocked. Utah looks real good, being serious. I didn't think they were going to beat them. I thought USC was going to walk in, get a spot, go to the playoffs, and have a shot, right? Utah looks good. I think Utah is definitely a decent team to keep an eye on next season and has a shot at doing something. It's just Utah's going to have to play a little bit better next season. I mean, I know you finished with a 10-3, but to go to a bowl game, you're going to probably go to a decent one. I don't know if you'll go to a New Year's 6. You'll probably go to like a New Year's Eve one.
Yeah, they are.
They are?
No, they're going to the New Year's. They won the Pac-12. They're going to go to the Rose Bowl.
Okay. But I think there's something going on here. USC, you had a shot, you blew it. So now, question going to be is how are y'all going to look next season, or is your fucking head coach going to be there? Because I mean, I've heard rumors of him leaving, but I mean, Auburn's already got their head coach. He would go somewhere else, but
no, Lincoln Riley will be there.
Yeah.
USC will have to replace a lot because they'll lose Caleb Williams and a lot of, but they probably could get a guy in the portal probably. But Hunter, what do you think of USC getting their butts beat in the second half of this game? And what do you think about this, man?
I think that it was just a really bad time to just completely collapse in the second half. But I get that. Well, didn't Caleb Williams get hurt also?
Yeah, he hurt his hamstring on a long run. Yeah, he hurt his hamstring on a long run in the first quarter, and he hurt his hand also. And he just was very. I mean, he still played a solid game while hurt, but he just wasn't himself, honestly, at all.
Yeah, I think that's just a really rough time for that. And they blew their chance at a national title. But aren't they still going? Aren't they going to the Rose Bowl, which is still a pretty good bowl, though?
USC or Utah?
Wait, who'd you say is going to the Rose Bowl still?
Utah, because Utah won the Pac-12, so they're going to go to.
Oh, okay.
So how it works is Utah is going to go to the Rose Bowl because they won the conference. USC will fall all the way down to the Alamo Bowl, which is like the third best available bowl game probably in the Pac-12.
Oh.
Yep.
Or the second.
Yeah,
actually.
I mean, I guess to sum it up, I was expecting USC to go in there and punch their ticket, but they kind of just fucked themselves and.
I mean, we think one thing we have to realize is the Utah did beat them in the regular season too, and
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did. They beat them it was a lot closer game, but and Utah beat them. But what's weird about Utah is last year they won the conference championship as well, but they beat USC twice this year, but they beat Oregon twice last year. Beat them in the regular season, and then they beat them in the conference championship. But I think Utah is definitely the best team in the Pac-12 now because USC and UCLA are leaving to go to the Big Ten. And
really,
you didn't know that?
No, I did not.
No,
when?
That was like early. I think that was what, Colby, early in the season or at the beginning or before the season started. They announced that.
Yeah, it was around the same time with Texas and Oklahoma leaving.
Yeah, they announced that they're going to the Big Ten. So And so the Pac-12, the Pac-12 is now, in my eyes, Utah's conference. Maybe Oregon's too, I guess.
Yeah, I think, or it's going to be Oregon and Utah at the top.
Definitely, Utah. They what's crazy is they're going to be right back here next year probably because this team that just won it this year, besides Cam Rising, their quarterback,
they're getting everybody back
on defense and offense. Yep, they're really young and they just did this, and it's pretty incredible. They have a really good coach too, and they play a style that most teams in the Pac-12 don't play, and they play a physical brand of football. They have the best defense in the Pac-12. They play physical. They run the ball. They beat your ass at the line of scrimmage. They wear you down. They play a style that and I think I will say I think if Caleb Williams didn't get hurt, I think they probably would have won this game. It'd have been a really close game. They might not have won. I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't have because at the time Utah was getting all the momentum. They were just beating their ass up front. And I don't think USC can play this physical style of football. I don't know why they're going to the Big Ten because that's a lot of teams like Michigan and Penn State play this style. Iowa run the ball.
Yeah,
physical.
those teams are going to beat them up.
But good win for Utah, like we said. They're going to be going to an Austin Bowl game and the Rose Bowl again. They'll play Penn State or Purdue. If Purdue beats Michigan, USC is going to fall all the way to the fucking. I think they're going to the Alamo Bowl, but we have to think about it. No, they would because they have a better record than Washington, I guess. That's true. So they would go to the Alamo Bowl, and then Washington would probably go to the next available one. But yeah, definitely good win for Utah. Tough way to go out. I actually want to ask a question to you, Colby, and if anyone else wants to answer it. Does tonight's performance does that ruin Caleb Williams' chance at the Heisman or no?
100%.
What do you think, Colby? Do you think he still wins it in a clear cut, or do you think it's a lot closer now? If Colby is here.
Colby's here. Alex, maybe he's having that problem that you were having, not being able to hear.
I have no idea. I don't think it ruins his chances completely because you got to think about it. C.J. Stroud for Ohio State, who was the favorite at the time, didn't really have a good game against Michigan at all. And maybe Bryce Young, I guess, would still be there. And I don't know. I don't know who's gonna honestly go to New York for the Heisman. That's one thing I don't know.
Hello.
There you go. Colby, do you believe this game ruins Caleb Williams' chances at winning the Heisman?
I don't think so.
You think he'll still probably win it?
Yeah.
Do you think it's closer now, race, or do you think he's still the clear-cut favorite? Even though he still had a solid game tonight. He threw 3 touchdowns and almost 400 yards passing and an interception with being hurt.
It might be close, but I think Caleb still wins it. He had a hell of.
How many guys go to New York? 3, right?
4 of them, correct.
4.
4. Who are your 4 guys?
Caleb 1, CJ 2.
Bryce Young, probably 3.
No, I'd say that Blake Corum kid.
Do you think? I think. I think honestly, people might agree. A lot of people probably would agree with me on this. I know their fan base would. I think Bijan Robinson should be in New York.
He should, but
even though they went 8-4, that dude is a fucking monster. But
he won't. They went 8-4.
I think there's a chance Max Duggan could, but I think it all depends on his performance tomorrow. But we'll get to that.
I think if he wins and he plays good,
But we'll talk about that in a little bit. But is there anything else you guys want to say about the Utah USC game?
I can't think of anything else, bro.
No, I think we covered it.
We covered that one, Cole. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Alrighty.
All right, Alex. Let me steal the floor for you a little bit, and I'll give it back to you in a second. So all right, so like we just got done. We just got talking about Utah and USC. Good job to Utah. They got a shot. They got a shot to go to the Rose Bowl. USC, you had a shot to go to the playoffs. Now you don't. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into these other games right quick. We're gonna start with a good one, and I'm gonna go ahead and ask these questions because this game right here I'm about to call out right now. I'm not picking on Alex just because I know for a fact this boy is a big Kansas State fan, and he's going to root his head off and everything on the lines for him. But I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. This game right here, TCU Kansas State, this game right here is possibly TCU's ticket to punch it. And if TCU doesn't punch it here, then shit starts going down spiral. So, Alex, in your own opinion, I'll let you answer these one right off the beginning of the game. What is your thoughts? I know, like I said, I know you're a big Kansas State boy. I know you're rooting your head off. What's your thoughts on this game, man?
Well, it's obviously a big game for both teams. I mean, K-State's gonna be playing for the Sugar Bowl no matter what, win or lose. But they're coming down here to take care of business. It's a business trip really for them. They're coming down here to win. That's what they want. They're coming down here to do. They're gonna come home with hardware. That's their personal motto, or what do you want to call it, agenda. They believe they're coming down here to win hardware, and that's obviously what they're doing. And I think there's not really much pressure on K-State in this game. All the pressure to me is on TCU because they have so much to play for to get into the playoff. To me, they win, they're in, obviously, guaranteed. They lose, to me, they're not. That's me, but maybe a lot of people might disagree with me. Maybe some people wouldn't. I have no idea.
I got you.
And this TCU, people might disagree with me on this, but I still don't have the belief in TCU as many people do because they've been very fortunate this year to play teams. And yes, I get injuries are part of the game. I completely get that, but they've been very fortunate because there's some games if players don't get hurt, they might lose. To me, I think they could have lost to KU if Jalen Daniels didn't get hurt because at the time KU was winning that game before he got hurt. And then KU was forced to go to Jason Bean, who still played solid, just wasn't good enough. I think K-State would have beat TCU if Will Howard didn't get hurt, and a lot of their defensive players didn't get hurt because they were playing a lot of guys They were playing guys like third stringers at linebacker that are like freshmen, and that you just aren't going to win those matchups. Oklahoma State, Spencer Sanders was beat up at the time. The only real game that they played a team that was really fully healthy was Iowa State. In conference play anyways, was Iowa State and Texas. And yes, the Texas game was they proved a lot. They proved they could win a low-scoring game and, play defense and stuff. And I'm not discrediting TCU. They were 12-0 for a reason. They maybe made good adjustments in the second half of some of these games and exploited things from teams they played. But I believe if teams didn't have injuries, et cetera, I believe TCU's probably a 2 or 3 loss team, personally.
I definitely agree.
They're still a really solid team. Max Duggan's played like a Heisman contender all year. They have an NFL talent receiver in Quentin Johnson. They have a good running back in Keontae Miller, who got all first Big 12. Congrats to him. They're a really, really good team. And
do you think this is going to be a shootout?
No.
No.
I don't. I think this game. I think K-State. What they're going to try to do is they're going to try to control the clock like they did against Baylor. Because what they're going to do is they're going to try to keep the ball away from TCU to limit their possessions and make them have to score on a lot of their possessions. And they're going to try to control the clock. And if this is the keys to the game for both teams. If K-State's able to control the clock, run the ball, do their thing, they might beat the shit out of them, to be honest with you, if their defense is able to get off the field. TCU has to be able to run the ball. If they're not able to, because that's how they set up all these pass plays for Quentin Johnson and all these other good receivers they have, and they like to run the ball. If they aren't able to run the ball, they're going to be in a really trouble. Yes, they could probably be one-dimensional, but K-State is going to try to force them to be one-dimensional and throw the ball because K-State has corners that can. K-State will not be afraid to play man-to-man against TCU because they have NFL caliber cornerbacks in Echo Boydo and Julius Brent who are going to play one-on-one against these receivers, and they're not going to be afraid to do that. My question with this game is, can K-State, get to force some pressure and get to the quarterback, make Max Duggan uncomfortable. They were able to do that in the first half of the regular season game, but in the second half, obviously defensive injuries started piling up, and they weren't able to do that. And it kind of just let Max Duggan stand in the pocket and just throw the ball all over him to a depleted defense. But I think this game, I'd say a prediction of a final score would probably be, I'm going to say 24 to 21. I think it'll be a solid, low-scoring defensive game. I think K-State wins it by 3. I think Will Howard will do his thing. I think Deuce Vaughn will have a career day. He's going to at least run for 130 yards, have 50, 60 yards receiving. But I think a key guy to look out for on both teams, I think, is Keandre Miller, obviously, for TCU, is going to be a big part. And I think Ben Sinnott, the tight end for K-State, who's kind of been like their secret weapon this year, has been really, him and Will Howard have a really, really strong connection. Will's been very good with his tight ends. Those are the two, key players I think that can make a big difference. But yeah, you guys can go ahead and give your.
Hunter, you can go next.
Well, what I'm interested to see is if TCU's defense could slow down K-State. Well, because they almost lost like last week to like Baylor, I think it was.
No,
if it wasn't, yeah, TCU wasn't.
They played Iowa State. You mean the week before when they almost lost?
Yeah. But if it wasn't for a last minute like drive.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? I mean, this will probably be TCU's biggest test they faced this year, because just fully healthy.
It'll be the healthiest team they've really played.
Under the bright lights, so much on the line.
Yep.
It's gonna show what they're really made of.
Yep.
If they're pretenders or if they're actually legit.
For real.
But I don't know. Just K-State's offense is just, I don't know, dude.
Playing on another level right now.
I think they're on a level. They're probably on a level above TCU.
And a lot of people, and I agree. I think K-State's offense is honestly when Will Howard and there is a thing. So K-State, they did say that Adrian Martinez is available to go, which he's not going to start obviously, but there was a rumor that they might put in like a special package for him where he might come on the field and do QB run type deals, and they might. I think. I will make a thing. Do not be surprised if you see Adrian Martinez in the game tomorrow.
Starting or just playing?
It's like how Jason Bean for KU would come in occasionally and do like run plays, and because he's so fast. It's like they would do like a QB draw type play with him because Adrian Martinez has got some really good speed and he brings.
To me, yes, it's gonna be because obviously TCU is gonna be expecting them to run the ball. So it's going to be if K-State can be efficient in the passing game.
Yeah, most definitely.
Kobe, you here?
One stat.
Kobe?
What?
Well, shit.
No, he's here. One stat I wanted to say in K-State's final last 2 regular season games, they have scored. Against the West Virginia game, they scored 42 points in the first half. And against KU, I believe they scored 20.
Yeah, that's nuts.
They scored 30 against KU in the first half. Their offense has been unreal in the first half. And I'll say this. I believe if K-State's defense, if they don't get injuries and they can be good, if they have a first half like that, they might blow TCU out.
Yeah.
Because I think TCU's offense is really good. But I don't believe they're better offensively than K-State is. And I don't think Max Duggan's better than Will Howard, personally. I think he's a great quarterback. But the thing about him is he's been kind of inconsistent his entire college career. He's been there forever. He's been there like 5 years. And this has been by far his best season. Before then, he was not that great. He was probably a bottom-tier quarterback in the Big 12.
Well, what do you think, Tiger? Who do you have winning? Who do you have?
Honor, you didn't say you had winning, by the way, in the score.
Oh my God, I don't know. Honestly, don't know.
If you want to, you can let Colby. If you want to, you can let Colby and Tiger go, and then we'll come back to you at the end if you want.
Because TCU just finds ways to win games, but it's still going to be their toughest battle.
Definitely. Do you want us to come back to you at the end?
Yeah, let me think on it.
All right, what do you got, Tiger?
I've watched a bunch of TCU games this year, There's been games, like y'all said, where they've had to come back. They've had to come back a lot, had to play it. And then there's been games where they have somehow dominated. Don't know how, but they've had. But I'm going to agree with you, Alex. Kansas State is going to have to run the ball against TCU. There's no other way you're going to win this ball game. You're going to have to run the ball against TCU, but I definitely also agree with you. You're going to have to get to the quarterback. Your defense is going to have to get to the quarterback. They're going to have to do the job. But I'm not trying to be biased here and air all the lines, but Alex, Kansas State, the only way they win this ball game, dude, is the defense is going to have to get to the quarterback. That's the only way you win this ball game. There's no other way. You can hate me for this one, but I'm going to take TCU, but I think it's because TCU ends up pulling some bullshit again on a lucky-ass play to win the ball game. I say they win it on a game-winning field goal again, and I say they win 24-21, but Kansas State will keep this game close. The only way they're going to win is they're going to have to keep it close, and they're going to got to get to them.
I definitely think that's the final drive.
Don't say fucking game winning field goal. That would absolutely break my heart if they did lose like
that. I know, Alex, but look, bro.
That would break my fucking heart. I'd be so upset. I would rather them get blown out almost than fucking lose on a game winning field goal because that would be so demoralizing as a fan.
I agree with you, dude. But
what do you got, Colby? What you can talk about what do you believe the keys to the game are for both teams, and who do you believe is going to win?
Hello.
He can't hear us.
Colby.
Hello.
Yeah, he's having that problem.
Damn it, why is Discord being dumb?
Bro, we probably haven't even heard none of this shit this whole time.
I don't know. You probably Discord fucking sucks. I would do Messenger, but like, I don't trust that sometimes either.
But so Hunter, what's your final thought process on this game? Who wins?
I just don't know. My gut is telling me K-State in a close one, but I don't know. I feel like
I understand. It's just hard to not go with TCU because they've been able to win games like in every kind of set. Like against K-State earlier in the year, they came back. Texas, they won a low-scoring game. Baylor, they won in a fucking emphatic fashion. Like, I get it. I completely get it. TKU was in a bad game too. I really do get it. It is a tough pick. And if I wasn't even a K-State fan, I mean, I'm not being biased. I completely believe K-State will win this game tomorrow. But I don't know who
I think it's 50-50. I think this game's 50-50.
It's a pick'em game. TCU's a 1.5 point favorite.
Yeah, I feel like I'll take my final pick will be K-State in like the final drive of the game or something.
Okay. Colby, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay, Colby, you can give your tips to the K-State TCU game, and who do you believe is going to win?
I think K-State will win because of their defense. I think Malik Knowles is going to probably have a hell of a game. He probably might win the player of the game.
What are your keys what are your keys for K-State to win the game, and what are your keys for TCU to win the game?
You have to contain Max Duggan. I think you have to force him to stay in the pocket. Stop. Yeah, because that's what he's good for. He likes to get out of the pocket and make plays.
Yeah, definitely.
I know, is it Keandre Miller? That's his name?
Keegan Miller, the running back, yeah.
And then Quentin Johnson, they both were injured. Are they healthy? What's the status on them?
I could tell you. I don't know, honestly. Actually, I don't know if they're... I didn't know they were hurt, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I knew they got banged up in the Baylor game and the Iowa State game.
I would assume they would play since they probably got taken out of the Iowa State game pretty early since they beat the crap out of Iowa
Yeah.
State. I would assume they would probably play. I mean, I'd have to look into it, I guess, but assuming those guys go.
So you have to stop. I think you have to stop those two guys, Max Duggan for the defense, and then offensive wise, just run the ball. Slow the game down. Use up as much clock as you can.
Let Deuce Vaughn do Deuce Vaughn things.
Yep.
I
think Max Duggan's a good quarterback, but I think too much pressure on him and too much pressure on Sonny Dykes to win the game. I'm gonna go 28-24 K-State.
Right, 24. Also, I will state one thing. You can agree or disagree on this. I don't know. It's up to you. I think this game tomorrow, by far, is it's going to be the most entertaining game, and I think it's the most exciting game to watch. Because the Clemson North Carolina game, sure, it might be it depends how you define exciting, I guess. If you want to see points, then maybe that game. But I mean, like that game has no implications on anything really. This game has implications a lot more because we all believe Georgia's probably going to win. We'll get to that down in a minute. But if there's just so much more. College game days there. Herb Streak and what the hell's his name? Can't remember the other one. And Holly Rowe are going to be on the call for this game. Game day, like I said. There's just so much excitement more for this game than there is anything else. That's kind of. Honestly, if LSU didn't lose to A&M, I firmly believe they were going to go to game day for that game, personally. But that's also because LSU would have had a chance at the playoff, They would have went to that game for sure. But, yeah, I think this game's the most exciting game. It's basically a pick'em game, and the line's a 1.5. But, yeah, we will definitely see what happens tomorrow, and after we're done with the podcast, I got to get to bed because I'll be up.
I'm definitely going to watch that. I'm definitely watching the game.
Yeah, I gotta be up by probably 6-7 in the morning because I'm going out of town to go watch it with some people, obviously. So I gotta, not get to bed soon, but
Well, that's
USA. I don't know.
What's up, Hunter?
Said I would get up and watch USA first and then the K-State game, but I don't know.
I'm depending on getting up early.
If you're getting up that early, you might as well get up and watch. Root on the country, the U.S. team.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We might talk. We'll probably talk about that near the end, but okay, we'll move on here, fellas. To
how many games left?
What's up, bud? Okay, you gotta repeat yourself one more time. You kind of really were laggy there.
Said how many games is there left to discuss?
We're probably just going to discuss about maybe 3 more games, and then we're going to move on to something else.
We'll probably. There's the Clemson, North Carolina, Purdue, Michigan, UCF, Tulane, LSU, and Georgia game. Those are the final 4.
All right.
Alrighty, and then we'll talk about the playoffs probably. All right, we'll go with LSU, Georgia. I believe this game probably won't be that close. I think like a 28-13 final. I think Georgia's defense is so good. I just don't believe LSU's. I believe LSU's overrated. I believe they've been overrated all year. They just got lucky and beat Bama. Not that great Bama team. I think Georgia's gonna just beat their ass up front. They're gonna be able to run the ball, do their thing. I got Georgia pretty much handling this easily and clinching the number 1 seed in the playoffs. What do you guys think? You can go first, Colby.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a blowout. I think Georgia's defense is too much, and it's probably going to be like a 35-10 matchup. I think LSU, they lost to A&M. I think they're probably going to be still on that upset.
Down.
They lost to a sucky team, and that's about it, really.
What do you think, Tiger?
Hunter, you can go, actually.
Okay, Hunter, you can go.
Yeah, I think Georgia's just going to roll on past them. I think they're the best team in the country, and LSU's they're a good team. They got fight, but I think Georgia's just going to be
Georgia defense.
Yeah, Georgia's just going to control the game.
All right, since you're an SEC guy, Tiger, what do you think?
Personally, in my opinion, I'd like to see LSU win this ball game, but I'm going to agree with y'all. Georgia just looks too good on paper and in game. Personally, you could sit here and you could say Kentucky game a run for the money, You can sit here and say that Tennessee tried their best, but they didn't really do shit. I mean,
Georgia really hasn't had a close game this year, really, besides what? Probably, I mean, the Missouri game was kind of close.
I would say Missouri and Kentucky are the only two that gave them a run for their money. Everybody else.
Yeah, realistically, they have not had a close game this year besides the Missouri and Kentucky game.
Yeah.
Because they only beat Kentucky by 10, but that game was a one-score game in the fourth quarter. I mean, Missouri
they're
played
dominant.
They basically just beat everybody's ass they played all year, but I'm assuming you got Georgia winning this game, Tiger.
Yeah, Georgia wins. I don't like seeing a blowout game for the SEC championship, but I mean Georgia's done it to us. They've blown us out. I mean, they're gonna do it again. Yeah. I think Georgia wins. I say 42-7, boys. I think it's gonna be that type of a game.
Jesus.
Ooh, man, you got Stetson Bennett in the run game's having a good day, man. Fucking.
Yeah, no.
I
will say this just to make Stetson Bennett Heisman contender and also put him back in the conversation. I say the boy has 4 touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown.
Holy fucking Jesus! I mean, you're giving that okay. I mean, well,
I'll go 35-17 Georgia.
That's fine.
35-17. Alrighty, fellas. Well, this one, I mean, depending on how you look at these teams, it's worth talking about, I guess. Might as well. We got this is the American Athletic Conference Championship game. You got future Big 12 school UCF, who will be there next year, who's 9-3, 6-2, versus a team that beat K-State earlier in the year, Tulane, who's 10-2 and 7-1 in conference, had a really, really good year. So this conference is weird. The best team hosts the game at home, so this is in Tulane Stadium, I believe.
Yeah, it's in Tulane.
And they'll be at home. But I think I gotta go with the Green Wave, man. They beat K-State earlier in the year, kind of beat their ass, and not like blowout, but like kind of beat them up front. They're a solid team. They have a really good veteran quarterback. I don't know his first name, but I know his last name is Pratt. Michael Pratt. He's a solid quarterback. He's had a really good year, 21 touchdowns, over 2,000 yards passing. They have a really good running back too, in Ty J. Spears, who's really good as well. He's a great running back. Had almost 1,200 yards. He has 1,100 yards, 14 touchdowns. I think this game will be really close. I believe that actually the one of the 2 losses Tulane has is against. They did lose. Their conference loss to UCF actually. So I think Tulane gets some payback in the regular season, and I think Gus Malzahn will have his guys ready to go, ready to play in this game.
Damn, I forgot about he was the coach.
Yeah, and I think they have some really talented players, and I'm excited to see Gus Malzahn in the Big 12 actually next year when they come. But I think Tulane will get their payback, and I think they'll take care of business and win. I'll go with the final. I think this will be a higher scoring game. I think they'll win 35-20 or 35-28.
Who?
Tulane.
Kobe, go in. Or doesn't matter.
Do you want
I don't know much about it. I don't know much about either team, so I don't really know what I'll say.
Oh, well then if you don't know this, just give us a score and we'll go to Hunter.
Or
go to.
I don't even know who they play.
Huh?
Wait, who does Tulane play?
UCF, future Big 12 school.
Oh.
One is 10-2, the other is 9-3. They're both ranked. They're basically playing for a New Year's Six bowl. Whoever wins this game is going to go to a New Year's Six.
I'm taking UCF.
You're going to take UCF?
Yep.
That's fine. Complete fine prediction. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did win. It's going to be a really good game. What do you got, Colby?
I think I got Tulane. They're a pretty good team. I think they're going to run the ball and then open up the passing game. UCF is pretty good. They have a dual threat quarterback who.
Damn.
Oh my God! He was saying Tulane, so he said he's got Tulane.
Okay.
What do you got, Tiger?
Well, Tulane, on paper, they look good. Central Florida, they've got, on paper, they look really decent. I'm going to go with old ball coach here. I'm actually going to go with Central Florida. I think Gus Malzahn fucking twisted a little bullshit together, and he fucking puts them back in a shot and does what they're supposed to do. I think I'm gonna go Central Florida wins, and this is me being ridiculous here. I say Central Florida wins 24-17.
Low scoring. It's fine. That's very doable. Possible. These teams both play some solid defense. Alrighty, we will move on from the AAC here, and we'll go to the Big Ten Championship. This is Purdue versus Michigan. Purdue's solid 8-4 team, won the Big Ten West, 6-3 in conference. They're a solid team. Michigan's a really good team, obviously. I think this game's going to be a lot closer than people think. And I think because Michigan's going to miss Blake Corum. Yes, they missed him last week. He didn't really play at all. But I think Purdue's going to be – they have a really good defense. They're going to be able to prepare for their backup. I know his last name's like Williams. I think and J.J. McCarthy's a solid quarterback. And I believe him in the passing game opened some eyes with Purdue, and they're going to play a lot differently towards it. And I'm actually going to take Purdue to upset Michigan here. I think them missing Blake Corum is going to be really critical. And I don't believe Michigan's going to be able to throw the ball as efficient as they did against Ohio State. And I'm going to take Purdue, and I think Aiden O'Connell, who's, I believe, the better quarterback in this game, they're going to make plays, and they're going to be able to get enough stops on defense. I'm going to take Purdue in a 21-14 low-scoring game.
All right. Do we have Kobe back? No? Yes?
Hello?
All right.
Who do you got, Kobe? Michigan or Purdue?
I got Michigan. I think Michigan's too good. They have the better defense. That running back from Michigan did pretty damn good against the Buckeyes. So I think they ain't gonna miss a step.
I got a question for you, Kobe. Does Michigan? You got Michigan. So do you believe they'll cover the 16.5-point favorite?
I'd say they win by 10 at least.
10 at least, so they won't cover. But maybe like a late field goal to pull away or something.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think
you got Michigan. What do you got, Hunter, Tiger, whoever want to go first?
I think that Michigan's just a lot better team everywhere, and I just don't see Purdue pulling off an upset against like the second or maybe the best team in the country. But I'll take Michigan in we'll go 23-16 game.
23-16. So you think Purdue keeps it close, just not enough
Yeah.
at the end. What do you got, Tiger?
See, and that's the thing, guys, is that like I watched the game of Michigan playing against Illinois, and they struggled. They struggled hard, and Illinois exposed a lot of shit on them to basically show how to slow them down. I'm gonna go with Alex on this one, guys. I think I'm gonna go with Purdue. Purdue just looks. I think Purdue has a shot here because Purdue beat Ohio State, fucked them over, didn't go to a playoff. Well, I think they did, but I don't remember. But think about it. Purdue has been the team that has either fucked over Michigan or Ohio State to not make them go to the goddamn playoffs. So now my question is, can Purdue do it? I think they can, Alex.
I also will bring up a stat line here. Purdue's head coach in his career at Purdue is 3-0 against top 5 teams. He beat Ohio State one year. I think Colby remembers that when they were that one year they beat Ohio State. They beat Iowa last year, who was a top number 2 team in the country, and they've also I believe the other team was Penn State. He's 3-0 against top 5 teams, so he knows how to prepare his guys for games like this. And I think it'll be a lot better game than people probably believe. I think them really missing Blake Corum is going to affect the game. I think they'll still be able to run the ball, but I don't believe they'll be as efficient, as effective as they normally would with arguably the best running back in the country. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm totally wrong and Michigan blows them out. I completely wouldn't, to be honest. But I believe Purdue has a really solid head coach, and I believe he's going to get his guys prepared. And Aiden O'Connell is an extremely underrated quarterback who is honestly had a solid year. And And I think J.J. McCarthy's gonna have a really good game for Michigan. This game will be a really good game. This is probably, in my opinion, the second best game.
Oh, it definitely is. I think it is the second best game of the weekend. And to finish it out for you, what was your score again, Alex? What was your score on that game?
Me? Oh, I said 24-17.
I say Purdue wins 24-20.
Anything else you guys want to add on to the Purdue-Michigan game or the Michigan game?
Nah.
I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Nah, that's good.
All right. We'll move on here to the most probably, in my eyes, it's probably the second to worst one besides LSU and Georgia, Clemson and North Carolina. I mean, it's going to be a good game. I believe North Carolina is honestly the better team, even them being a 3-loss team and 23rd ranked. I don't believe in DJ Uiagalelei at all. And he had an awful game last week against South Carolina. He really has not been that great this year. If North Carolina is able to get off the field on defense, because their defense isn't very good, but they're able to get off the field on defense, and I think Dre May's gonna have a fucking automatically adjust to earn you more cash back. I think he's gonna fucking throw for 4 touchdowns, and probably 400 yards passing. I think North Carolina wins this game. I wouldn't say a blowout, but I'd say they're going to win like 35-21. I just think too much North Carolina offense for Clemson, and I just don't believe in DJ Uiagalelei at all. What do you think, Colby?
Hello?
Yeah.
There you go. You're good.
I got a bold statement. I think North Carolina wins, but I think DJ gets benched and they put in that 5-star quarterback, and I think we see DJ transfer this year. I think it's going to be
What's
a
his
high
name?
school.
Is it like
Kate something.
Kubanek or whatever?
Yeah, something like
It's
that. I think
Kubanek or whatever. Yeah.
Yep, I think DJ gets benched. I think it's been coming soon, and I think this is our time. We'll see. I think DJ transfers this year. I think North Carolina wins because of that. I got Drake May with 350 passing yards and 4 TDs.
Yep. I think, and I also believe next year Drake May will be the Heisman favorite.
Yep.
Definitely. What do you think, Connor? What do you believe about the Clemson North Carolina game? What do you believe on it, man?
I believe Clemson is coming off a bad loss, and I just think. The game's going to be can North Carolina stop the Clemson offense? And if they can, I think they can win the game because I feel like they are the better team.
Yeah.
In Clemson.
Which I would say on paper, honestly on paper, I think North Carolina has better players, but I think Clemson and Dabo Swinney I think he's the better coach. Personally, I like Matt Brown a lot. I think if they're able to run the ball with Will Shipley, control the clock, I think they will beat North Carolina. But if they're not able to run the ball,
I think this game is going to be I feel like this game's going to be like a 33-37 type game.
Yeah, that's actually a very understandable score. Who do you got winning though?
I'm going to have to say Carolina.
You got Carolina? Kobe's got Carolina. I got Carolina.
All of us got Carolina, I guess.
Who you got, Tiger?
Yeah. No, beginning of the season, I thought Clemson was going back for another title run, boys, being serious. I thought they were. And then when I saw them lose to Notre Dame, didn't look that great. And then when I saw them lose to South Carolina, I was like, oh, shit. I was like, oh, damn. Maybe this ain't the Clemson we used to know, and it's here. And maybe this is 2 years in a row that Clemson's had two bad seasons, but they've gone to a decent bowl game. It's just paper doesn't lie, guys. North Carolina on paper looks better than fucking Clemson does. And North Carolina shouldn't win this ball game. Actually, Kobe, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't think DJ gets benched, but I definitely agree. I think he does transfer out. North Carolina wins, and this is me being bold here. I say North Carolina. I don't see it happening, but if it happens, it happens. I say North Carolina wins 35-7, North Carolina.
Ooh, oh my! He's got a great day by the North Carolina defense. Damn. I mean, if DJ Uiagalelei sucks ass, then I mean I don't know if that would happen. I don't think so. I think if it is a blowout, maybe like 48-24, something like that. Kind of like the USC game tonight, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
But not. I don't know if they could. Their defense is good enough to hold them to only 7 points. But if you're saying blowout, then that's possible. If North Carolina's defense is able to get off the field, they're gonna have a field day, because I believe they're gonna fucking be able to throw it all over this team, because Josh Downs is a really talented receiver for UNC, and they have other really good receivers as well. But alrighty, fellas. Those are really, well, unless there's other ones. I guess there's other conferences. But we can just, if you want, we can just run down the other conferences and just predict who we think we're going to win and not talk about it. So the MAC championship is Toledo and Ohio. Toledo's 7-5. Ohio's 9-3. Who do you guys got?
Ohio.
I got Ohio as well. Who do you got, Colby?
Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio.
Ohio, alrighty. We got, this one might more interest Tiger. We got Coastal Carolina versus Troy for the Sun Belt Championship. Who do you got, Colby?
Troy.
Who do you got, Hunter? Oh, but I should have said record, I guess.
I
Coastal
got
Carolina's 9-2 and Troy's 10-2. So it's a fairly even matchup.
I think Troy's got it. I've heard they're pretty good this year.
Who do you got, Tiger?
I'm gonna go Troy, dude. I hope they win.
I'm gonna be the odd man out here. I'm gonna go with Coastal Carolina and Grayson McCall, who tore KU up 2 years in a row. I'm gonna go with Coastal Carolina here.
He's injured.
Oh, is he not playing?
He was injured the last game, so I don't know if he's playing.
God damn it! I wish I knew that now. Okay. Oh, well, if he plays, I'll go with Coastal Carolina. But if he doesn't, I'll go with Troy. Then you got the Mountain West, which this is interesting. You got Fresno, who's 8-4, Boise, who's 9-3, Boise State. Fresno has Jake Haener, I believe, back there, really good quarterback, who's maybe could be an NFL quarterback. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Fresno State. Who do you got, Colby?
I got Boise State.
Yeah, Boise. Who do you got, Tiger?
Boise.
Who do you got, Hunter?
I'm taking Fresno.
Taking Fresno. Split it down the middle here. Alrighty. Okay, since that basically is a rundown of the games, I guess we'll just do this one as well because it's next week. Who do you boys got here? We got 4-7 Navy versus Army, who in the game will be fighting for a bowl game. Who do you guys got? Who do you got, Colby?
Go Army, beat Navy.
Go Army, beat Navy. Who do you got, Hunter?
I really don't know. I'll just take.
One's 5-6, one's 4-7. One's playing for a bowl game. They go to a bowl game. The other's playing just for bragging rights, I guess. That these games are always competitive. They're always like low scoring because they run the option, so they really just run the ball the entire game. It'll probably, I'd say, a final of like maybe 21-14, if something like that. So, who do you got?
I'll take Navy.
You'll take Navy. Who do you got, Tiger?
Army.
I got Army. I'll go with Colby Tiger's Army as well. I think Army is gonna play with that mojo to get into a bowl game. Okay, fellas. So now, since we've basically run down all the games here for the remainder of the season, we will talk about the college football playoff. Alrighty, friends. So, what do you believe? Since we all predicted here that basically the remainder of the games, on Sunday at 11, I believe, is when the show comes on. Who do you guys believe will be your final four in the playoffs to go to the playoffs? We will start with Hunter.
I'm gonna take Georgia at the 1, Michigan at the 2. And then I think TCU loses, so I think that'll put Ohio State in there.
State, yep.
And the 4 is if TCU loses, doesn't that put Bama in there?
Possibly. It's possible.
It's possible. If TCU was at 4 and they lost, they'd be guaranteed out. I think it comes down to if they keep TCU in at 4. Honestly, it'll go how they do this. How do they define the losses? Do they think like 10-win, 3-loss K-State team is a better loss than Alabama's 2 to a 4-loss Ole Miss and what does Tennessee have? 2 losses?
Yeah.
2-loss Tennessee team. That's what it'll come down to. But
you know what?
I'll
go with the 1 Georgia, 2 Michigan, 3 Ohio State, and then 4 Tennessee.
That's possible. That is possible, Alex. I will agree with that. That is possible.
I completely understand where. We'll see what happens. That'd be that would probably cause some fucking mayhem if somehow Tennessee jumped Bama. That would actually be kind of funny. I would even not gonna even lie.
Who's your top 4, Alex?
Me, I think Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, and Alabama.
Okay.
I think TCU loses. I don't believe they've done this. The committee has done this before. It's all about brands. It's not about the fans, what the fans want. It's about the money and what they want. They would much rather see Georgia play Bama and Ohio State play Michigan. Absolutely would.
Yep.
Bama, if TCU loses, Bama gets in, 100%.
Hunter. Kobe, sorry.
Yeah, I got the same as Alex. I think it's going to be Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama. It's all about the money.
And all about brand and who they want. Yep. Who do you got, Tiger?
I think it's Georgia 1, Michigan 2. I think TCU holds on and somehow gets their ass into it. But I think they drop the 4, and I think Ohio State goes to 3. And I think you have a Georgia TCU and a Michigan Ohio State playoff.
All right. So we have 2 of us are the same. Hunter said Tennessee. What's Tennessee right now? What, 7?
7, yes.
Holy fuck! If they somehow jumped. Oh my god, that would be hilarious. I would laugh at that. I would make fun of so many fucking Alabama fans for that.
Oh, I would too. I'd definitely be on the same page with you. Alex, let's see.
We can talk about.
Actually, I know something we can talk about. Give me a minute here. Actually, well, we can talk about some of the updated bowl game matchups
or the 12-man playoff.
Oh, there we go. That's okay. We can get everybody's opinion on that. So the 12-team playoff format, guys, I believe it's going to start next year, Colby, or the year after.
2024.
So not next year, but the year after. So we'll have one more year of the 4-team, and then the year after will be the 12. I'll go first. I think I do really like the 12-team format. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I think it makes it better for the sport. It gives more teams like K-State and other teams just in general, like the Pac-12, more chances to even get in the playoff. You know, like it gives them a more opportunity. You know, I think it's really good for the sport in general. I think they needed to do this. They should have honestly done it at the very beginning. You know, but I mean, what do you got? I mean, Hunter, what do you think about the 12-team playoff format coming in a couple years?
I really like it because I think it makes things way more interesting for the playoffs, and I think it just gives other schools a chance, other than the teams that are always in there like Bama, Clemson.
Oh, absolutely. I completely agree.
It'll be good to see some other teams in there that could maybe upset these better teams.
Definitely. What do you think, Colby?
This is the best thing they could have done. I'm pretty proud that they made this decision. I think it's best for the sport. I like how the 4 best teams get the byes, and then everyone else just plays. And
then the other teams.
Yep.
Am I wrong about this, Colby? So if like the 7 and 10, right? If it was like K-State and Tennessee, wouldn't that mean that if I'm correct, wouldn't that mean K-State would host the game at home?
I haven't seen the rules about it. I would assume so.
So from what I read, that's what they said it would do. So the better seed would host that game at home, then they would go to the bowl game venue where they'd play a 1, 2, 3, or 4 seed or whatever they'd play. You know.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome for those teams like K-State and TCU maybe, or Oklahoma State, or maybe even like Utah or somebody in like these other just to host that game. That'd be a big draw for them. These programs that don't maybe get as enough of the spotlight.
And don't forget about the non-Power 5 schools.
Yeah, like if somehow Tulane, or not Tulane, we'll go like maybe Tulane. Screw it, we'll throw them in there. Somehow they got like a good seed or something, and they got to host one. Like that would be cool. Like it gives these other smaller schools a better opportunity to, on the spotlight to show what they can do. Over just being the same teams over and over. Because the playoff, it gets boring after a while when it's fucking the same teams over and over. Like forever, it just does. It really gets boring. I mean, what do you think about it, Tiger? What do you think about the 12-team playoff format and what it does for the sport?
I think it gives more teams opportunities to try to get into the playoffs. It's gonna be more of an interesting thing. And like y'all said before, we're not having to sit here. We're not having to hear about Bama's in the playoffs, or Georgia, or Ohio State, or Michigan, or Michigan State, or teams that we've already seen multiple times, Clemson, Oregon. And to tell you the truth, I will say, it was kind of cool as an SEC supporter. It was cool to see SEC dominate, but I think it's time to see a change. So I'm happy a 12 is coming around the corner here soon, because you never know. You never know. And I actually want to go back to Alex's statement, just for shits and giggles. What if Tulane somehow, let's say Tulane got in, and let's say Tulane starts playing phenomenal in the first game and they do make it to the Final Four. Do you even sit here and say that Tulane is not even a caliber, a Power 5 team anymore, or what's the conversation?
Well, they would. I mean, it's just a cool experience for all these smaller schools, like I mentioned, to get the spotlight and to get to prove what they can do, and against these other schools. Like, obviously, teams like Tulane aren't going to be able to compete with Alabama or Georgia or Tennessee or et cetera, et cetera. They just don't have the talent to do that, because that got proven last year with Cincinnati against Alabama, obviously. But it would just be cool for those schools to get to play in that moment, and they can play with the big dogs of the country and shit like that. It'd be really cool. It's gonna be cool, and there's gonna be teams that don't ever get it, would never have a chance. They're gonna maybe start.
Alex, I think this will be how K-State will get their first natty.
It's very possible. Yes.
Maybe not. Maybe in 5 years, 10 years, or something.
But yes, I completely agree with you, and they'd be one of the 100%.
I do have one statement to make.
Go ahead, bud.
I just hope to God this doesn't turn into a March Madness thing.
Yes, they have to keep it at 12.
Leave it.
Keep it at 12. Yep.
Don't need 16. We don't need 30.
What if they put it at what if they made it to where every ranked team could do it?
Like what? So basically, the top 25 was in. Everybody was in.
Yeah.
It just okay. See,
at that point, it would be way too crazy to do 25.
This is what I'll say to you. I'll give my negative to this playoffing for 12 teams. My fear is it's going to cause a lot of players to get hurt, because they're going to be playing. They're going to keep playing for long periods of time, and I don't know how it's going to work for the dates and how the games are going to be played, but from how I see it, the season won't end until fucking mid-January. And it's gonna go from about fucking August to January or whatever.
That's true.
It might cause more players to get hurt. That's my fear, but I think it's still a really good idea.
I think they're gonna give those players some week.
That is true. They might.
Well, what they could do, Alex, is just start the season a little earlier.
I mean, the season already does start for a lot of teams in August. Late August, early September is when your season normally starts, but...
Or cut down your freaking regular season games by 1 or 2.
Well, they can't do that. They have to keep the 12 games.
Why?
You have to, Hunter, because they make it less fun. You have to have 12 games. You cannot have less. Huh?
You think that'll make it less fun?
No, okay, so with bowl games, right, Hunter? So like, unless you're a team in the conference championship games, right? So we'll say like a team like KU, they're gonna get into a bowl game, Hunter. So say they got into Liberty Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
They would. Today's what, the 1st of December, 3rd of December. They would have from Sunday till the 28th. They'd have basically like two and a half, 3 weeks off till their bowl game. Like, they're getting enough time to get healed up and prepared, and, like, by that time, Jalen Daniels should be ready to go. There's no excuses now. You know what I'm saying? Unless he just has an injury that no one's talking about.
Hopefully he plays well.
But if you want, guys, actually, we can write this is just.
We're actually, right now, I saw one that said we're projected to play Ole Miss.
Ooh, an 8-win Ole Miss team in the Liberty Bowl? What? That would be retarded, but I guess anything's possible at this point. But okay, here we go. So if you want, guys, we can run down. These are the current predicted bowl games. Actually, if you want, I guess we could talk about them. If you really want.
Actually, Alex, do me a favor. Let's kind of run through these. I'm kind of getting pulled into something else. So let's kind of do a little quick run through, real quick, please.
All right, so the Bahamas Bowl would be UAB versus Miami, Ohio. The Kier Bowl, that's a weird name, but okay, would be Marshall versus Western Kentucky. The Fenway Bowl, which is played in the Red Sox Stadium, is Louisville versus Cincinnati. New Mexico Bowl, San Jose State versus BYU. LA Bowl is Washington State versus Boise. The Blending Tree Bowl is Ohio and Southern Miss. The Las Vegas Bowl is Oregon State versus Florida. The Frisco Bowl, sounds like I'm getting frisked by a cop, would be New Mexico State versus Rice. So that's funny because New Mexico State actually is a 5-win team currently, and they got waivers to be able to play in a bowl game because there's not enough eligible teams to play in bowl games that are over 500 or 500 at least. The Myrtle Beach Bowl is Liberty versus Eastern Carolina. The famous Idaho Potato Bowl is Eastern Michigan versus Utah State. The Bocan Raton Bowl is UTSA versus Troy. The New Orleans Bowl is North Texas versus South Alabama. The Armed Forces Bowl is Baylor versus Air Force. Independence Bowl is Louisiana versus Houston. The Gasparilla Bowl is Wake Forest versus Coastal Carolina. Hawaii Bowl, San Diego State versus Middle Tennessee. The Quick Lane Bowl is UConn versus Toledo. The Camellia Bowl is Buffalo versus Georgia Southern. The First Responder Bowl is SMU versus Fresno. The Birmingham Bowl is Missouri, the soft-ass Missouri bitches, versus Memphis. The Guaranteed Rate Bowl is Maryland and Oklahoma State. The Military Bowl is Duke UCF. The Liberty Bowl is Hunter's Kansas Jayhawks versus Arkansas, who's 6-6. Both teams are 6-6. The Holiday Bowl is Notre Dame versus Oregon. The Texas Bowl is Tech versus Ole Miss. Pinstripe Bowl, which is played in Yankee Stadium, I think, is Wisconsin Syracuse. Cheez-It Bowl is Oklahoma versus Florida State. Holy fuck, how the hell OU in the Cheez-It Bowl? I'm not just saying anything bad, but that's just surprising. The Alamo Bowl would be Texas versus. What's up, Colby?
You're reading the right thing.
Huh?
There's no way we could be in the Cheez-It Bowl.
I have no idea how that's even possible, but maybe we have to look at standings or something. Alamo Bowl would be Texas versus Washington. The Mayo Bowl would be Iowa versus NC State. Sun Bowl is Pitt versus UCLA. Gator Bowl is North Carolina, Mississippi State. Arizona Bowl is Bowling Green, Wyoming. Music City Bowl is Minnesota, Kentucky. The whatever bowl is named, South Carolina versus Illinois. Citrus Bowl is LSU, Purdue. New Year's Six bowls. These are the New Year's Six ones. The Orange Bowl is Clemson versus Tennessee. So I'm assuming that means they got Clemson winning the ACC championship game. We got Alabama and the Kansas State in the Sugar Bowl. We got the Rose Bowl. Would be awesome to play Alabama. The Rose Bowl would be Penn State and Utah, because Utah winning tonight. Obviously, the Cotton Bowl would be Tulane. Oh, wow. They have USC going to the Cotton Bowl after losing.
That would be a good game to turn on, because I would be down to turn that on.
USC would beat the shit out of them.
I know they beat them. They'd be interested in turning on.
But I don't know how USC could get in that bowl, but the playoff. They got the Peach Bowl being the Georgia versus Ohio State, and then they got TCU versus Michigan, and their national championship is Michigan versus Georgia. Alrighty, that's the bowl games out of any of these. Any one of these interests you guys the most if they were to happen?
I already lost track of a bunch of them.
Alex, I'll just say this. I would be down, and this is me just picking on you a little bit. I would be down to watching a Bama Kansas State game just to fuck with you. I'd be down to watching that one, and Penn State Utah one I'd be down to watching too.
I know. I'll bring this up real quick as well. I do know tomorrow it's a good Saturday. You know, you got football. You got if you get up early enough in the morning, you can get up to watch the U.S. men's national soccer team try to take on. I believe as well, Colby. I agree with you. Take on
we will
solid Netherlands team who won their group. They're a pretty good team. Take the U.S. versus the Netherlands tomorrow, and I believe it's at 9 our time.
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock. Netherlands, USA, and then the second.
I definitely will probably be watching it.
So if USA loses, are they out?
Yeah.
Yes, they're over.
What if they draw?
They'll keep going. It goes to overtime. It would just keep going.
So in the knockout rounds, you don't draw. It's basically So what'll happen is you'll play your extra minutes, the first extra minutes you get, right? And if no one's winning by that, you'll go to 120 minutes. And then if you're not done with that, you'll go to penalty kicks, basically.
Yeah.
And so, if you want, we can make quick predictions on that as well. I really want to go to U.S. because it's my home country, obviously. You know what? I'm going to. I'm going to take the youngsters. Kristen Pulisic's going to play tomorrow, who got hurt in the first game, who won the winning goal, the best player. He got hurt, but he's going to play. I really thought he got kind of kneed in the nuts after the goal, but he didn't. He got kneed in the abdomen or whatever you want to call it. Abdomen. So I'm going to go with the U.S. And here's an actual interesting stat, and they're the only team in the World Cup to do it. The U.S. is the only team in the World Cup to not concede a goal from open play. They gave up a goal on a penalty kick, but they haven't given up a goal on just normal play. They're the only team in the World Cup that have not given up an actual legit goal besides a penalty kick.
Yeah, I'll go USA 1-0.
I think the U.S. is going to win 1-0. I think they're going to play some really tough defense. They're fast. They're young. I think the Netherlands are going to put up a great fight, but I'm going to take the U.S. in a really, really entertaining game to watch tomorrow. I'll agree with Hunter. I'm going to go 1-0 the U.S. I think Christian Pulisic will step up as the best player, and I think he'll get the game-winning goal again for the U.S. What do you got, Colby?
I got America 1-0.
1-0 America. Alrighty, what do you got, Tiger?
I was scared to see what Netherlands had played as recently, and I actually went back and looked at stats. Out of all the games that we have played Netherlands in the past couple of years, and these were friendly games. Out of all of them, USA's only won twice. We've drawed once with them. We've lost 3 times. So, I'm going to be completely honest with you boys. Yeah. So, for USA to win this, I think I agree with us. You're going to have to play good offense. And this is where you're going to have to attack the goal more often than you did against England. And you're going to have to do something. You know what? I'm going to be a little bold here. I say USA 2-0.
Okay.
So we got the U.S. 2-0. Alrighty. And I think we're about to end it, but I'm going to put this in there real quick because this was a big deal for college football today. What do you guys think on Deion Sanders going to accept the Colorado job and leave and go to the Pac-12 to be a head coach for Colorado after being really successful at Jackson State his first couple seasons? Do you think it's a great move by Colorado to hire him? Do you think it's a good move for him to leave Jackson State? Do you think he could have success in the Pac-12? Do you think it'll be an ultimate fail? Do you think he'll be able to recruit there or get guys because of his name? What do you think, Colby?
Oh, I think it's going to be a fail.
A fail?
Yeah. I like Deion. I think he's going to get some good recruits. Most of his team's going to transfer to Colorado, but I just think he's not ready yet.
Not ready yet.
Yeah.
I'll go with. I don't think it'll be a fail. I think it might be more of like a progression thing. I think it's gonna take them a couple of years to actually get the feel of a Power 5 school. You know, a lot better competition. But with USC and UCLA leaving the Pac-12, it might make it a little easier. But I don't think it'll be a fail. I think his first year he probably will go to a bowl. But I don't think they're gonna be able to like be as like on the level of like Utah and Oregon. I think he'll be a
Colorado
solid.
never is.
Well, no, so Colorado they haven't been good as of late. But I think it's not a bad hire. I think they could very well get some really good players because of who Deion Sanders is and his name. I mean, who wouldn't want to go play for a future Hall of Fame or in the NFL? I mean, like, that's my whole point on this is who wouldn't want to go play for him. He's going to be able to get guys to transfer there who are really talented and other players to recruit. I don't think it'll be a fail, but I don't think it'll be like as successful as people might think it might be. But I think Colorado might have one of those years eventually, a couple of years down the road. If them being there, they might win the Pac. That's very possible. I mean, he's been very.
I think it's gonna be a Scott Frost hire.
Scott Frost type hire just isn't ready for it yet.
Yeah, not ready. I mean, I think he'll have some winning seasons, like 9-7 and stuff. But I don't think nothing.
What do you
special.
think? What do you think, Connor? Do you think he'll be able to get it done in Colorado, or do you think?
I think it's an alright hire. I think it'll move them in the right direction, but I also think it'll help them in the recruiting field too.
Definitely.
And
do you think we'll have some solid seasons, make some bowl games?
Yeah, they might make a few here and there.
What do you think, Tiger? I didn't know if you knew about this today or not. I didn't know if you knew beyond.
No, actually, I did not know that he was taking that job, and good for him. Good for fucking him, because he's been at Jackson State for so long. He has brought home a couple titles here and there. He's made them look really, really good. He has got a bunch of stature behind him. I think it's a smart move. I think it's probably the smartest move Colorado could fucking do. Do I see them being in the conversation here in the next 3 to 4 years? Possibly. Possibly in the next 3 to 4 years. But at the same time, he's got to get his recruits over there. I think he's going to get a lot of transfers going that way here soon. I think, personally, in my opinion, his son will definitely transfer no matter what.
I think that Travis kid who's really good.
Yes.
As well, who was a big recruit. I agree with. I think it's like a progress type hire. I think it could like Colby said, it could either be a very good hire and they could be very good, not maybe playoff good, but like compete in the Pac-12 good, or it could be a very bad hire like Scott Frost was. It's going to be that or that, one of the two. I don't think there's a middle. I think it's either he's really bad and he gets fired in like 2-3 years, or they're gonna be a tough team in the Pac-12. But is there anything else you guys want to add tonight, or are we gonna call it there?
I think we're good there.
What do you think, Colby? Are we good there, or is there anything else you want to bring up?
No, I think that's probably good.
What do you think, Tiger?
Not really. Is there anything you want to add, Alex?
I don't know. No, probably not. Besides me having to get up in like 4 hours. But,
I believe it, dude. Well,
but I mean, dude, I'm so amped for that damn game tomorrow. Honestly, there's a good chance I might not get any fucking sleep. That's how amped.
You're like me, bro.
You might see me fucking. You fuckers will be asleep, and you might be getting some spam messages fucking 4 or 5 in the morning from me. I'm fucking like, that's how amped I am for it. But I mean.
Oh yeah, no, and you should be, dude. You were in the same boat as me when Auburn had to go to the SEC championship 2 times. Like, bro, you're in the same boat as me. Just all hyped up, ready to go, ready to see this ball game going. And I'm gonna tell you, dude, I'm good. I mean, I'm gonna sit there and root for them. I hope they do the job and I hope they get it done. But like I said, bro, defense is gonna win that ball game for you. That's the only way you're gonna win it. Is defense is gonna win that ball game for you.
Definitely.
Well, good podcast. Good
Definitely. We're gonna end it there, guys. We will tomorrow night. We will be doing another podcast tomorrow night. We'll do a recap of all the games, give our thought process on what the Final Four will be, and if USA does somehow do advance on, we will definitely talk about them. If not, we're still going to talk about them. And I'm going to add this little bit here before I end the stream here. Personally, in my opinion, if USA somehow sneaks by Netherlands, I'm very scared for the next opponent they do play because you do have Australia and you do have Argentina. Very good two teams.
They would have to go against Lionel Messi.
You would have to, and that would be interesting too. USA versus Argentina, Messi versus young boys. Who would have the shot? But
it'd be interesting.
It'd be interesting. If y'all are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. If you like the stream, please leave a like. We're kind of getting down to the end of college football here, and all that stuff. I think the plans are going to be going into January. After college football ends, I think we're going to start. I think y'all were talking about we were going to start talking about what basketball, hockey, some along those lines. I think is what we were talking about. I could be wrong, but
I know the NFL. Well, the NFL. We can still talk about the NFL until the Super Bowl.
Till the Super Bowl, but yeah, we'll end in there with playoff for NFL. We'll start adding in basketball stuff and a little bit of hockey here and there. And then I would say possibly by the beginning of April. I know that's a lot farther down the line, and we got a lot more to go. We'll start bringing in baseball because I know me and Alex have a little fun there because we're gonna have real fun. Again, if y'all liked it, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and leave a like if you liked it. And we'll try our best to do more. Yeah, that's all I gotta say, guys. And just have a good night. And last but not least, Alex, all I'm gonna say is let's go Wildcats. Let's go bring home that title, boys. Bring home the title. Yes, and that is rare coming from an Auburn boy. But hey, they got a shot to do it. Let's see if they can fucking do it.